Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Today I'm going to talk about the Seven Deadly Sins movie, Prisoners of the Sky. I watched the movie before, I liked it, decided to give it a rewatch, and I have to say, I loved it even more the second time around. Because this time, since I've already watched all four seasons, I was able to pick up on like little Easter eggs and little hints that they had given about the next seasons. In this movie that I hadn't picked up the first time. So watching it now after having watched all those, it helped tie some things in that I didn't really know the first time I watched it, which made it all that much more enjoyable. Now, if you haven't watched it yet, it starts off where the team is all trying to gather different foods because it is the King of Leonis, aka Princess Elizabeth's dad's birthday, and they're going to cook him up a big giant feast. And so everyone's going about finding their different foods. We get like a little comedic bit where Bon is training Meliodas on how to cook, which, if you've watched the previous seasons, you know that Meliodas cannot cook. Bon is the chef of the group. So we see that, but then after Escanor eats a piece of the pie that Meliodas makes, he essentially vomits rainbow slime all over everyone. We watch as Meliodas and Hawk go to the stream to clean off. While they're there, it glows. They discover that the one food that Meliodas was trying to find is called skyfish, and it's like a legendary fish that no one's really ever seen. And they actually see it in the stream, so they go diving in to go try to catch one. While they dive in, up comes Solad, who we later find out is one of the celestial beings. And so they've basically just switched worlds. Solad is basically the doppelganger of Meliodas. And so then the movie kind of splits into two perspectives where we see Solad interacting with the team and Meliodas interacting with the family and friends of Solad. Solad has come to the surface world to find the great Oshiro, who his people have prophesied will help save them during the time of ruin, which is coming upon them. He comes to the surface world to try to find the great Oshiro, not really knowing who it is or what it is. And also, he's been told, like, the legends that his people have of the surface world leads him to believe that the surface is just completely overrun by demons. So when he runs into the other sins, Merlin, Gowther, Deanne, King, Bon, he's terrified. He starts to try to escape. They think at first that he's their captain until they start to realize that even though he looks the same, he doesn't act the same, doesn't have the same power levels, all these various things, that differ from him. And so they're trying to, figure out who is he exactly, what is he there for. Meanwhile, Meliodas is having sort of a different, experience over in the Sky Kingdom, because they all believe he is definitely Solad. They can't understand why he doesn't have wings. They refuse to listen when he's talking. He tries to tell them numerous times that he is not the Solad that they think he is. But they won't listen, especially Solad's dad, Zoria, who is like the king of these people. He's the main guardian in the Celestials. And he just straight up will not listen to a word coming out of Meliodas' mouth because he believes his son is a coward. He ran away from his people and his duty. And you can see throughout many interactions that he's got a very, very low opinion of his son. And so Meliodas just kind of rolls with it. They lock him in jail. He's like, cool, but bring me some food. And then the demons start being resurrected sooner than anticipated. The team on the surface world has decided to help Solad by going to the Sky Kingdom because they need to get their captain back. And if they can help him, great. Meliodas being Meliodas, he's always willing to go for a good fight. And so you just see like their different interactions. Overall, I really enjoy this movie. The first time I watched it, I liked it because it was kind of a self-contained narrative. It's not like the show, which can take a long time to get to a certain point or to, defeat a certain villain. This one, you sit down, in 90 minutes, you're going to have a full story. And it's a good story. It's entertaining. And so that's why I really liked it the first time. Now, rewatching it after having watched the 4 seasons, I really enjoyed all the little Easter eggs they had left for the upcoming seasons. We learn about the Ten Commandments. We learn a little bit about the Holy War that had happened, 3,000 years prior, which takes a huge part in the fourth season, as well as a little bit in the third season. We also learn a little bit about the goddess race. And so seeing those little teasers was really fun this time around. Now, I will say the animation on this probably lacking a little bit more than even the anime series, like the TV series. There are some scenes that feel very much like a video game almost when things are moving. And then there are some scenes where when things are in motion, like during a fight, all the details kind of just go away. And it's literally like a forest scene and it's like a little scraggly tree. And then the next scene, all of a sudden the trees have details. But that's very minor. And honestly, with this show, I don't mind it so much because it's not like the animation style is a super detailed, high-def graphics anyways. I will say that overall, between the series and this movie, that the demon concepts can be a little cheesy. And by a little, I mean a lot cheesy. Like the designs they make for the characters. I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's worth watching, especially if you're kind of debating if you want to watch the other seasons, or if you've watched all of them and you haven't watched the movie yet, and so you just want a little bit of a closure. Go ahead and watch this, because even though it definitely doesn't close up anything in the main bulk of the story, it is a closed narrative, so it ends on a good note, and so I feel like that in itself makes it worth watching. Honestly, if you've never even watched The Seven Deadly Sins, you could still watch this movie and enjoy it. You get enough details that it's fine. It's just there for pure enjoyment, with some teasers for those of us who have watched this show. Let me know down below, what did you think? Have you seen it? Have you watched the other Seven Deadly Sins? What's your take on it? Let me know down below. As always, have a great day and be safe and healthy out there.